All right. Hello, everyone out there in LinkedIn Live land. Josh Kivenko here, Chief Marketing Officer of Vecna Robotics. And I'm joined by yet again and yet a new trusty pal. I always have a trusty pal every month. This one is LaFromboise joining us, a customer success manager at Vecna Robotics. Ty, welcome to LinkedIn Live. How you doing, man?
Josh, happy to be here.
Awesome. I know you've been on the road traveling. Tell us a little bit about your job, first of all. Just quickly, what does a customer success manager do at Vecna?
Yeah, so our customer success managers at Vecna, when any of our customers buy our robots, as soon as they get deployed and they're in production, we become the single point of contact for the customers.
Right.
So we do a lot of work behind the scenes, analyzing data, watching robot performance, and then working with the customers on a teamwork basis to ensure that they're getting every dollar of ROI they could possibly get and help them troubleshoot or resolve any issues they may have with the product.
Great. So you're the quintessential person. Well, first of all, this is all about a preview. I should have said, I jumped the gun here. I'm so excited. This is about Robot versus Wild, episode 5, happening next week, every last Friday of every month at 11 a.m. Eastern into infinity, forever. Just book it at 11 a.m. Eastern on Friday, July 26th. We'll be doing a full webinar on the topic of Robot versus Wild, which is really a series about scaling your automation program. And that's the theme for the year. For next week, I've brought in Ty to talk about a really interesting topic. The title is There Are No Such Thing as Bad Robots, Only Bad Owners. Now, we're not casting aspersions here. We're trying to be a little fun here, but there is some seriousness to scaling your program, right? And maybe who to blame when things don't go exactly the way you want. And that's what Ty's here. I mean, he is a shepherd. You're a shepherd, Ty, of our customers' automation program. So let's first talk about why that title is apropos for what we're going to talk about next week. No such thing as bad robots, only bad owners.
Yeah, no, Josh, and kind of echo what you said. We're not saying any of our current customers are bad owners, but for a lot of these, this is these people's first real adaptation of automation into their facilities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of you don't know what you don't know. You have an idea of what you think it should look like, what it should be. We're there to help make those goals and those visions reality.
Right.
And there's aspects to the robots, how they do operate different than manual workers in the facilities, or the little quirks and nuances that come with bringing automation in. And the whole point is educating, helping learn together the site's operations to our robots, how they work, and making that blend that leads to ultimate success.
Bringing it together, right? It's bringing it together. I think that is ultimately it. Never happens on day one. Wish it did. Doesn't happen on day one. It takes some time, but the ROI happens really quick. So for next week on the 26th, 11 a.m. Eastern, there's one topic in particular I wanted to tee up for today, just to tease everybody, because I think it was really interesting. Ty and I have spent a fair number of hours over the last few weeks preparing for the webinar next week. And one of them are these, what we call these 3 robot worker interaction types that Ty sees every day in his interactions with customers that really ultimately define the current success and future success of a program. So maybe let's tease out just quickly the 3 types that you see, and then we'll go into detail next week. So type number 1 of the robot worker interaction that you see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first and foremost, usually what we see, especially early adoption, is the robots as an obstacle.
Yeah.
Going against the flow of their manual traffic and the way operations have been done for X number of years.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of growing pains in that really take a lot to overcome. And that's where my team is very crucial in that stage.
Right. So robot as obstacle, obviously we don't want that to happen. And so there's reasons for that. We'll get into that next week. So then there's the middle stage, right? Which is, I think it was robot as a coworker or as a partner, a coworker, I believe, coworker.
Yes.
Let's talk about robot as a coworker or viewing the robot as a coworker.
Yeah, absolutely. We usually see this stage right as sites are starting to adopt, they're becoming more comfortable with robots, and they're working, it's pretty harmonious, but they're not taking advantage of the full capabilities that these robots can provide to the site.
Yeah. Sort of to each his own, right? You just let the robot do what they do, you do what you do, and maybe not a lot of collaboration, but certainly not getting in each other's way. Perhaps not the best scenario. I think the best scenario is, as you've described it, or you will describe it, is looking at the robots as an optimization tool. I love that one. Let's talk about that for quickly and tease out what we're gonna be discussing next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't want to give too much away on this because this is really the meat of next week's discussions. But
Yeah.
this is where, kind of like you said, the robots are doing the robots' work, humans are doing the human work.
Hmm.
And this is where, I mean, your throughput, your ROI, they really take off with the robots once you get to this stage.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of big things to talk about next week. Don't want to give away too many secrets.
Right.
On
So
the preview.
obstacle, one thing, and then coworker, and perhaps folks envision that maybe the coworker part is where they stop. Frequently, it's where they should start is thinking about the robot as a coworker, but where it really flies and where you get massive value and massive ROI at scale is tuning the system to be an optimization tool. And Ty will give us a little bit of guidance about how to get there and maybe some examples, customer examples that he lives and breathes every day. So there we go. LinkedIn Live. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Ty, looking forward to, let's sharpen our pencils for next week. It's going to be a big show next week. So thanks for joining us. To everybody else who's supporting this effort, thanks so much. So once again, join us. How do you register? So follow our LinkedIn stream. Our team has put together some promos for that, and you can register through a link there, or just go to our website, vecnarobotics.com. There's in the top navigation under the tabs webinars. You should be able to find a link to register. You need to register for the webinar. Please do. We'd love to have you join us and hear more from Ty. So once again, 11 a.m. Eastern on Friday, July 26th. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks.